You're going to have to deal with the acoustics of Omar screaming. He already went to the bathroom. He wants to eat. He can wait a few minutes to eat. Dog naturally was even saying something I had never heard before. I know it's very beneficial because I know that it is. Instinctively, I know that it is. I've done so many studies, but it's beneficial for humans to fast periodically, not for long periods of time. But Doug naturally was saying you should fast your dog for the health benefits that humans get. But in any case, Omar can wait a few minutes to eat. He already went to the bathroom outside. I have to grab time when I can, and he woke me up. You get a video because he woke me up, and they're not home. My mom's not back from church yet. Okay. But Omar wants to eat, so he's not going to shut up. He doesn't have to go to the bathroom, mind you. I wouldn't be doing this if he had to go to the bathroom. He just wants to eat. He can wait a few minutes to eat. The world's not going to end. Okay? I don't have time to do a dancing video or anything like that. There's no saying when she'll be home. She could be home not any minute, but earlier sometimes. Sometimes our church gets out earlier, so I can't be caught out here. Okay. I don't like the acoustics, but I just want to stress. He already went to the bathroom. Already had him out going to the bathroom. I just don't have time to feed him. Alright? He'll be over there eating and he'll fall down and I'll have to get up from the video. I just want to do a quick video, which goes back also to the fact that, I don't ever, put on makeup for these things. These videos I create, I don't put on makeup, I don't do any of that. For my EarthCam TV channel 2 decades ago, more than 2 decades ago, a little bit, I did put on makeup. I did the whole 9 yards because that was that wasn't me shooting the shit. This didn't, no one had the capability to do this then. There was no sound, okay? But that was not me just shooting the shit with my viewers or fans or enemies. That was me needing to look as good as possible. And it had to be planned, and it would take hours, as I sarcastically would say, for me to become the Alicia doll, okay? But that was me dancing around in my bra and panties, okay? So I had to look as good as possible. But this is not that. This is just whatever. You find me attractive, great. You find me repulsive, great. Who cares? I know my enemies watch this too. Watch my videos. Don't know how many enemies. Don't know why they bother. I certainly wouldn't bother, but I'm a different breed, man. I'm not going to watch anything of someone that I don't like and can't stand it, whatever. Anyhow, one of my viewers, I call very few of you fans unless you've earned it. Okay. There's some who have earned the name, the label fan, as opposed to just a viewer. Doesn't mean the other ones aren't fans, it just means I'm not aware that they're a fan. And I can be deceived, as we learned with SJ, didn't we? Here's deceived. Only that was even worse because that wasn't me thinking he was a fan. That was me insanely viewing him as a friend. I'll never make that mistake again, trust me. One thing that whole fiasco taught me is this is a game. This is mutually symbiotic relationship, okay? I like the attention. I like to be able to vent, and I know that at least one person is listening to anything that I say. It's usually more than one person. But it's definitely a hell of a lot less than you see in the views. Because views are people who click and then stop viewing, which is what most people do. That's why they'll come up with like your average view time is like 1 minute and 10 seconds or something like that, you know. And that's yeah. So anyway, one of my viewers, of course, is based on the videos that I created last night. It was like, what do you fantasize about? And that person's thinking along shallow lines, okay? And my flippant reply, which would actually be based more in truth than anything, would be world peace. What do I fantasize about? But if you want to know just in terms of basics, it isn't sex, okay? It's not sex I'm fantasizing about. It's sex about which I'm fantasizing. It's proper English, which you don't have to do. It's not sex I'm fantasizing about. It's all of it. It's being different than who I am. It's having a different life. It's having at least a little bit of money rather than being dirt poor. It's having genuine friends, not just Joe's, as Joe lives thousands of miles away. You know what I mean? He's out of state. It's being wooed. It's absolutely 100% having rapport and trust mutual with people I genuinely care about. It's all the things that aren't going to happen, especially these days. I trust nobody and nothing, including myself. And I can be too easily deceived. And I acknowledge that in myself. Because there are people who just really, really, really know how to deceive you. Even that woman in the shelter, I genuinely believe she cared about me. And that was all a lie, too. In the end, we were too different. And it wasn't because of arbitrary things like that, okay? It was, she came from bad area, and she was viewing me as a country bumpkin, even though like that she could take advantage of. And if I even thought that, she twisted it all around. She some of you know that story. Again, I can't get into everything. Fact is, I'm too easily deceived if you're good at it. So the way to avoid that is to not trust anybody or anything, okay? But in fantasy, am I fantasizing about being fucked? No. I'm fantasizing about that which I will never have. Because of who I am or because of life or, you know. And these days, life is just... But of course, someone's going to say, oh, she's fantasizing. No. That I can handle you know what I mean? I'm not fantasizing about that. You do that on my own, okay? I'm not fantasizing about that. I'm fantasizing about forever fantasizing, which is why I can listen to songs and certain songs and fantasize. Because they're written by deep people who are not just wham bam thank you ma'am, okay? Let's put it that way. But I'm too messed up, okay? Donald fucked me up. I was fucked up in different ways when I met Donald, but then he really fucked me up. Now I'm not comfortable with anything. I don't trust anybody. I'm just, you know. say, well, what'd you do with the foot guy in his car a decade ago, almost. Yeah. But then lots of shit has happened since then. With my mom and my aunt and court and this and that and everything in between, and then the pandemic hit, 2.5 years ago, and turned life upside down. For those of us who are deep enough to realize it, permanently turned life upside down. And look what ultimately happened with Foot Guy anyway. That was a one-time deal. Next time wasn't really enjoyable. We got caught by the security guard. Wouldn't even let him be rubbing my back. Meanwhile, there are teenagers who will be sitting there having their tongues down each other's throat and grinding all over each other, and no one says anything to them. And then we talked, and we don't really have anything in common, okay? So I didn't really get nothing out of it the second time. And then the third time, he, fucked me up even more. Because you always hear the horror stories on the news, hear them on the news or whatever, and there've been real horror stories. Mother takes a chance to finally get back into the dating world again, and they find her body chopped into pieces in a dumpster. Mother of 3, okay? And she had reservations, I'm sure. She wasn't, people take the chance and they're not sure, and then, believe me, I'm not fantasizing about sex. So that's what someone would ask me, what are you fantasizing about? Yeah, if I was some shallow person, I'm not. I'm fantasizing about everything being other than what it is, including me being other than who I am, okay? I can't be up forever, 'cause I don't have the time to spend wishing I was someone better, wishing I could start all over again. That's what he says. I don't have the time left to spend wishing I was someone better, wishing I could start all over. You don't know if he means that. He's not a filthy rich and famous rock star like Disturbed or Metallica or, they're filthy rich and famous rock stars. Just picking to, shine down. Royal blood, they hold their own, but they're not mega stars. Okay? Now, that could be a song they write to make money, or it could be how they really feel. There's no way to say. Again, I don't pretend to know. Oh, other filthy rich and famous rock stars, of course, is Stone Sour also has that. He's in fucking 2 bands. He's in the band that I used to shut off the Comcast if it came on. No, I can't think of the damn name. But, I used to shut it off when those songs came on. I didn't want to hear them. And then I found out it was the same person who was in Stone Sour. And inexplicably, but again, Wolves in Sheep's Clothing, I Don't Trust You. Same one who wrote song number 3, which is like this beautiful song. Beautiful lyrics and beautiful melody, whatever. Again, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. What I know now, I am so keenly aware of what has been going on in the world behind my back, because I was too naive to know it. said, there's the band who openly writes all songs about sadistic serial killers that, I mean, in movies that do the most unthinkable things to their fellow human beings in the movies, okay? And that's that whole band, that's their whole thing. The lead singer, who's also attractive, you know, revels in fantasizing about that kind of stuff. So he's fantasizing about chopping his fellow human beings into pieces, and that, you know, and it's not always done quickly either. He's fantasizing about all the torture and the blood and the gore and everything else. Well, I'm fantasizing about just being normal, and having things that people take for granted. Most people take for granted. And we'll end with that. Don't think for 1 second when I say I am afraid of everything that I fantasize about. And I fantasize about everything. It's not like, oh, she's just thinking about sex or whatever. No, not even close. Not even close. Of course, that's part of it. But it's so much deeper. Again, I don't trust anybody or anything, including myself. I don't trust myself to know the difference and to not, you know, yet again get fucking burned. Someone who's good at it, who's developed it, who knows how to do it. And we who've been in abusive relationships, particularly when you've been long-term abused, you're easy prey. In fact, my case manager, when I stayed in California, in that place that's, you can't leave it. It's for domestic abuse victims. I've signed a I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I'm not telling you anything like where it is or anything. I'm just saying in general. And that case manager in there, she was in an abusive marriage, whatever, and she had to when they had to take classes. Sometimes they'd go to court and they'd be forced to go take classes, and the ones that did that, and she'd tell me that they would come up to her, some of them, and say, I can spot one of you a mile away. They would say it. The ones who do that, they learn the tricks. They know exactly what to do. Wolves in sheep's clothing. So, I don't trust anybody or anything, and I don't see anything changing for me in the foreseeable future. Okay, I just don't see it. So, fantasy it is.